was losing the war, that it was getting worse, that the chiefess was becoming more worried as the days dragged on. I had meant to ask him about the rumors upon his return. To my knowledge, he wasn't fighting in any war. But those thoughts vanished from my mind as his ship rocked up against the dock. His first mate, Noah, dropped the gangplank with a clunk onto the pier. Wounded crew members stumbled forward, each of them barely managing to bow as they passed my mother. She pressed her lips into a thin line, icy eyes wide and unblinking. Her chest rose and fell with a steady rhythm. Sometimes I despised her emotionless facade. This was one of those times. To see her react without such passivity might ease the concern clawing up my throat. I could only hope to see a fracture in her facade. She was as silent as a stone statue and just as still, so I scrambled onto my father's ship, shouldering past a surprised crew member. If she wasn't going to see Father, I would. Except my father had forbidden me from boarding his ship. My parents thought it would tempt me to leave our island home, to explore the world. They said my heart sought the horizon, and I would never be happy with our shores as my border. They were wrong. I was happy here. Happy with my books and my hobbies and my lighthouse. But if the rumors about war were true, then my parents had every right to be concerned. I had to be protected, and that meant I couldn't leave, no matter what my heart wanted. The ship breathed beneath my feet, the gentle swell of waves lapping the sandy shore. But my stomach dropped at the unfamiliar sensation. I caught the railing to steady myself, breath whooshing out of me at the rise and fall. Mother's piercing gaze drilled into my back. "Noah!" I called. He stood at the mast, adjusting the damaged mainsail, and whirled around at my voice. Confusion drew his eyebrows together. Then panic shot them up again. "Where's my father?" "Princess Kalei," he said in a low voice, crossing the deck. "You shouldn't be here." "Where is my father?" I repeated. Slower, tamping down the fear that would have made my voice break if I spoke any louder. His hesitation was worse than Mother's silence. But why was he hesitating? Unless... My back hit the banister as I feared the worst had befallen my father. He was dead. He had to be dead if Noah wasn't answering me. Why else would he stay silent, if not to protect me from the truth? A small, rational corner of my mind tried to reason with the sharp shards of fear I was swallowing. I shouldn't have been so scared of the possibility. I had the power to bring the dead back to life. No one truly knew what waited on the other side of the dunes of forever, but if my father was dead, I could bring him back tomorrow, on the full moon, during the resurrection. But the irrational part of my mind shot back with barbed ferocity. What if they didn't have his body? I couldn't bring him back if they didn't have his body. "Minnow." Father's warm voice wove out of the darkness behind Noah. Relief rushed through me, but when Noah stepped aside, I choked on a gasp at the sight of ruby droplets splattered across his stomach. His linen shirt was torn, hanging by pale threads from one shoulder, revealing a splashwork of deep gashes that covered the right side of his ribs. The half-cape that hung over the other shoulder bore the brunt of the burns. Char curled up the hem, blackening the once bright pattern of leaves and feathers. The tatters fluttered in the breeze, small needle pricks dotting the fabric that echoed the cuts on his stomach. He lumbered forward, clutching his side, face twisted beneath his grimy beard. Blood trailed in his wake, ink black in the fading sunlight, and seeped between the deck.